Okay, I'll tell you. Hey everybody, it's Mark T here, and
We're doing a record during the coronavirus because you people, by which I mean like the 7 people subscribed to us,
yeah,
need some levity in these dark, dark times of dying of a virus.
don't worry. Like neither of us are currently suffering from COVID-19, so you have nothing to worry about with us because we're both kind of stuck inside for the most part.
I mean, I am dying of a virus, but that virus is more cowbells, so. I have a fever, and that fever is cowbell 19.
So let them know what we're doing today, Age.
I have collected from a site called Thanks Nasu a bunch of scenes from sex scenes and a couple, not from sex scenes, from primarily Fate Stay Night and Tsukihime, probably some from others, because as my life has been destroyed by Black Butler and Fate Stay Night, mainly Fake Granddaughter, and your life has been destroyed by Black Butler, I'm forcing Nasu to ruin your life too.
Keep in mind, I don't hate Black Butler. I don't think it's that bad.
I hate the Black Butler and CL and Will, and I like everything else.
Yes,
The problem is, like, they're the main characters, except Will, who's not the main character, but is also terrible.
I would still say like, actually no. CL and Sebastian are pretty much like the worst characters in the show. Like, let's be real here.
There's a fan at US that one of the people I follow came up with, which is, what if Lizzie was the watchdog and Grohl was Regina Butler? And I was like, why couldn't we have had that?
That'd be fantastic.
Enough digression. I'm gonna push you through horrible mental torture, and this is happening now.
And keep in mind, this is just like right out of nowhere. We have just started talking, and I am kind of out of it. I've just been drawing pictures of my new character, but just yeah, let's do this.
Well, this will get your cream juices going because Nasu did these sex scenes. Clearly, will also delirious.
I don't want to draw my new character, who I call a Spectre, in sex scenes.
And Spectre, you say?
Ace, Ace Spectre, and
In Spectre, you
oh
say?
my god.
We begin now. Can you feel it? You're drifting so much down here, Shiki. It's almost as if you're crying. How cute, she says, smiling.
First sentence. Oh my god.
Next one. Like a crude sword, it pierces into her. Number 3. Slide. 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 Slide.
This is actually during a sex scene. He's just saying this. He's just saying this.
This is either narration or dialogue. A lot of this is narration.
Oh my god.
Nasu likes this flowery narration. Ahem. Number 4. Sloshing. The sound of our fluids mixing together. I'm gonna stop just numbering it, and just my pause will infer it's a new one. This heat inside her is like a tropical forest.
Oh god.
Splurt, splurt. My hot magma fills her.
This is worse than the dialogue from The Spirit.
Even though I would be limp already, normally, my shaft is fully erect, as if telling me things are just getting started. My pants are tight. Now we're getting to 2 of the best ones. My grotesque shaft has hardened into an offensive, glistening pillar. Talking about his dick.
Oh god.
Her anus is defenseless. That will never not be my favorite line in a NASA work.
It's just like he's just preparing for something.
This is a consensual sex scene, by the way.
Captain, her anus is defenseless. We could go in.
Uh, Captain Tosaka, the innocent defenseless, activate shields.
God damn it.
My grotesque meat stabs into her, striking against her womb.
God. I'd still say the last one is still funny.
The innocent defenseless is going to take a while to get one out, but it will eventually be met by something even better.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's like a diving suit that's too small. I force myself into the tight hole.
Oh my god.
It's like a simple up and down movement, but it's actually a pot of meat that wriggles around from time to time to stimulate my manhood. Also, yes, there was an unnecessary S at the end there.
Oh dear God.
Stimulates me manhood.
Thank you, Popeye.
My dick expands to avoid being crushed.
We shouldn't be doing this as a recording. We should do this as a live video, and I try drinking water every time.
Oh, this is worth the wait, wasn't it?
Yes, this is amazing.
My grotesque member is wet with foaming love juice.
Oh God, I think the people who write this just
It's one guy. It is one guy who wrote all of this.
it's just does he even know what sex is like, man?
I should note for time frame, this was way back when the big boom of porn games, like porn visual novels,
Yes.
which means eventually it got a re-release that took out all the porn, updated the art, fixed typos in that, maybe added some new content. And then the series from then on never went back to being porn, but was still horny from time to time.
So you're telling me like this is just like from the beginning of it, like the originals.
Yeah, this is all from the original Fate Stay Night or the only Tsukihime because it's never getting a sequel. That kind of sad. The Tsukihime was supposed to get a sequel.
Like was this before even the anime was created? Like this was
Yeah, this is the original visual novels.
So this was his original idea to have like kind of sexually.
I mean, okay. To defend, I cannot speak directly for Kanoki Nasu, but considering he never really went back to this, and he's pretty open about making fun of his flaws as a writer and making very self-deprecating jokes, one gets the assumption that he just has no idea how to write sex scenes, but felt he had to do it for the sake of this is what will help sell it. Being porn will help sell it better.
Mm.
And he has never really gone back to writing sex scenes. Although his one should also note his writing style, especially at the beginning, had a very philosophical, long-winded, oftentimes incredibly obvious way of writing. That is it's lessened a lot, but he's a very introspective writer, kind of Frank Miller-esque, in he can't just say I stood atop the tallest building in the city. He'd be like, I stand upon the tallest spire in this modern day Jerusalem, or whatever, some Frank Miller-esque, way too much to explain something because it makes it sound more profound.
This city, it's my city. It's always there for me.
Its pussy is hot and wet for me.
Okay, keep going.
I have ejaculated half my organs after all.
I just question who reads this and it's just like, oh God, this is getting me so hot.
I feel like no one, including Nasu.
Oh my God.
And again, the main draw of Fate Stay Night is really like the really interesting mechanics that go into magic in the servant system. Like this was never supposed to be the draw, and it stopped being the draw. Except like Granddaughter is still kind of horny, but the main draw is like the writing that can be incredibly inconsistent, honestly. Her butt lewdly raised, exposing her excretory organ.
Okay. All right.
And it's time for I think your favorite original Fate girl, Sakura. Although we probably have been talking about Sakura before, I think the extra one is Sakura, but we're gonna talk directly about Sakura with a line that's kind of really uncomfortable considering, the rape worms thing.
Yes.
Sakura's crotch is covered with something viscid and is reflecting light, like something about to emerge from a pupa. Shiro, those actually might be the rape worms, I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh.
You got an STD now. I shouldn't joke about the rape worms, but they're just such a ridiculous concept that there are worms that burrow into your genitals and drain your mana because mana comes from sexual fluids and really any kind of bodily fluid.
Is it like even now within like the more recent stuff? Is that still the case?
The body fluid thing, yes, but I think the implication is sex is the most reliable, safe way to transfer it, but it seems like blood has more.
Okay.
So, for example, like sacrificing a chicken to power your servant is pretty damn efficient because, like, Zero, that's what one of the main characters does. He just kills like a chicken a day to feed his servant.
That sounds a lot more convenient than sex.
And one character primarily gains mana via kissing.
Hmm.
The problem being, this character is roughly an elementary school girl, so like
I think I know the one you're talking about. I don't know what her name is, but
brown skin, white hair, dresses like Archer.
Yes.
Yeah, closer to Prisma Ilia, and there were some mistakes made in Prisma Ilia, especially the anime version, which is done by a profoundly horny guy in a profoundly horny way.
Hmm.
Her fingers dart playfully here and there like a school of ice fish. I hope you're ready for seafood metaphors, because, oh boy, this is not the only one.
Oh, God.
She brings her legs closer together, as if to hide the glorious treasure between them. She doesn't show so much as a hint of distaste at seeing this large, grotesque thing. Get used to grotesque being used to describe penis. I think some of this is translation.
Okay, all right.
Because this was translated from Japanese to English, so I feel like some of this might have worked better in original Japanese.
Probably. I hear grotesque a lot in these lines.
A final scream issues from my splattering shaft.
God. Definitely like a rape scene. that or just...
No, it's Dick just screams.
What?
His dick just screams whenever he comes. It's just like, oh, I'm coming. Ah! Senpai, what the? Ah, that's my dick. Ah! Oh, yeah, it's good. Ah! I'm almost done. Ah! Oh, it was good for you too. No! Why didn't you tell me that happens?
Okay.
I thought all guys' dicks did that.
Oh, maybe that's why I've only had sex once.
It's Mr. Thimble, the small man that lives in my dick voice. What's that, Mr. Thimble? So go look for lost treasure, you say? With the puppets. The lips around it are so small that they do seem like flower petals. It's painful. Ah, move more, senpai. Please go harder and squash my butt.
Oh my god! The way it said it's so.
Squash my butt?
Yes!
Okay, now here's actually for by far one of the creepiest ones, and also one of the most infamous ones. Ahem. The hot back that presses back is curved like a mollusk, and the spotless white back is so captivating as to make you want to tear off the skin.
Yes.
Shiki, are you a serial killer? Wait, Shiki is a serial killer.
This is very creepy. It sounds very creepy.
It's also funny that Shiki is in fact a serial killer. Or rather, he has a split personality that's a serial killer. But it turns out he's actually only a serial killer of supernatural creatures, but he didn't know that he was a serial killer of supernatural creatures and thought he was a regular serial killer. Also, a vampire shoots a shark out of his dick and goes, "Eat this."
Oh my god.
And that vampire's name is Nurse Chaos. Spelled Nerochas. All of what I say is goddamn true. I kind of love the Natsumes. Even though it was so smooth going in, it's so tight now that I might rip my dick off if I. This is fun and it's in educational because people are learning about the mighty and majestic Nasuverse.
Oh my god.
I suck on Sumika's nipples like a starving child. One or two of these might be from another thing because I know the writer did like the person on the Tumblr did like briefly one other one, but there's only be one or two there because like it's different running style. But that I can't remember if there's a Sumika or not in one of these games. But that does sound like a Nasu line, so it might all be accurate. But I'm almost exploding from the side as if playing a flute. Arcade takes me into her mouth.
Oh my god. I've said that so many times in this video because of how many times it keeps surprising me with this crazy shit.
Her pure white porcelain throat moves up and down as she swallows. Her beautiful lips pull away from my grotesque member. Between the two, a thin line of saliva hangs like an obscene spider silk. My towering rod is grotesque and menacing compared to the beauty of her body.
Oh god. How many more are there?
We're roughly a bit before halfway through.
God.
I put my face down close to her delicate pink folds and take a deep, satisfying whiff. Pushing against where my rod sprouts from my body, I plumb her depths. A lot of these are kind of short at this point, so I just mentioned the when I pause, these are separate. The pleasure from this is enough to make me pass out. Is it because our mouths and tongues are so close to our brains?
Fuck.
My tool still moves around. The nipples harden after only light stimulation. The sensitive part that hardens when felt by someone, no matter how much the woman does not want it. That's the nipple. So actually, Hisui herself has nothing to do with this.
Oh my god.
Her name might be Hisu. I don't know. I don't remember the fucking amazing name. It's been a while since I watched the Tsukihime anime, okay? God!
We should watch it. We should
Oh
watch
god, yes. The Tsukihime anime and the original Fates in anime are really bad and kind of glorious in the way.
Yes.
Calmly, our bodies meet like puppies, licking and grating each other. My meat is surrounded by Saber's finger my meat that is surrounded by Saber's finger is ridiculously erect and showing grotesque veins.
Task so much.
You know what, Mark?
Yes.
The varying movements are like those of an educated prostitute. That's another famous one. And now a bunch of this is the short ones. My dick begins its last expansion. I can totally see her pussy. Our meats make a soppy sound.
But what before? I could totally see her put it. Was that just before sex or what? Does it for just
No. It's the scene where Shiki sees Arcwade's familiar cat, and he looks at the cat and goes, "I can totally see her pussy." And then he goes, "A cat's okay too," and he fucks the cat. That's not canon. That's not actually canon.
Just thinking like he's just looking through a window with binoculars.
He just sees a cat. I can totally see her pussy. A cat is fine too.
Oh god.
Her genitals are also excretory organs. But she continues stroking that grotesque thing.
Oh god. You should count out how many times they say grotesque in
this thing is literally called, this word pad is literally called grotesque mollusks.
Very nice.
My meat expands to its limits. Ready to have everything beforehand topped again?
Sure.
See? Can you tell, Saber? Your pussy is like it's freshly boiled. It looks so perverted. Just get that. Boil pussy. Am I the only one that can only think of the slurp up that fried pig pussy meme?
I don't even know what meme that is.
Oh, it's like this guy eating like fried pig pussy. He's like, just slurp up that fried pig pussy. He just like slurps it up as noisily as possible. He's just like, slurp up that fried pig pussy.
Correct.
My manhood feels like it's in a dimension of pure pleasure. Her contracting walls suck on my blood-congested penis.
Just to say, everybody, like it doesn't seem like I'm laughing. I find a lot of these genuinely funny. It's just sometimes I laugh so hard that it takes a few seconds to catch my breath.
You laugh so hard it like cannot be heard for like an hour.
Yeah.
Much like lightning, you have actually traveled. Your soul actually projected away before the laugh.
I just.
You know how I feel, Mark?
How do you feel?
I'm like a bug that fell into a pot of aphrodisiac. no! Stay away from my belly button!
Is that it?
Yes!
Is that it?
That is a quote.
We get no clarification for what that's supposed to be for.
It cuts off because it must be out of context for maximum efficiency. I believe this whole bunch of one is like all connected in the same scene. Although I think it's out of order.
Okay.
No, I think the first one would be different. I think there's gonna be two different scenes. Yeah, a sensation as though having torn through her. Her gasping voice carries a hint of a tortured scream. Moreover, with half of my penis still inside, it's almost feels as though I can hear the sound of myself rubbing around upward in her vagina. As if hammering Saber into the wall like a nail. I embraced Saber and impaled her.
Oh my god.
Perhaps with his gay bulge.
It's funny just listening to all of these at once. It reminds me of that time we tried to make like Lord of the Rings like inappropriate Valentines.
I can't remember a damn thing about that, but that was pretty gross.
I just remember we were just in math class. I mean, we had, well, really, I don't think we ever did our homework. Just math class is fucking around the entire time. God.
Aha, you're pretty slovenly, Saber. Why am I so horny? It's not like this is the first time I've had fingers slid around my shaft. She gently pulls my slippery pole. Akiha, you don't want to do it with your brother after all? To be fair, though, Shiki isn't her actual brother. Her actual brother is actually Shiki, who died and then got replaced with Shiki, who's not the real Shiki and therefore is not all caps in the English version.
Huh.
Fuck you, it makes sense.
Okay, again, I'm very familiar with this series.
No, it makes very little sense unless you know about that whole custom that really died out a long time ago in the world of naming a new child after a dead child as some sort of weird luck thing. It used to be if you had like a son named Harry and that son named Harry died as a baby, you'd name the next baby boy Harry in hopes that Harry would turn out better. It's weird, but it's a thing people used to do, and for some reason the after her actual brother Shiki dies, they basically adopt a kid from another part of their family line, like a cousin, whose parents died, and just rename him Shiki because he had amnesia or something.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the English version, it differentiates them. Instead of using the spelling difference in Japanese that only works in the Japanese version, they instead differentiate by having the other Shiki be all caps, so the only way to read is Shiki! My manhood urgently sticks out of my pants.
Yeah.
My balls contract.
You know what we should do?
What?
After, like the next, like when COVID-19 is like hopefully much less dangerous, we should like do a drinking game, and then just watch this video.
Just years later, we react to our reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know what? She's putting strength in her sphincter.
God.
I pull my boiling meat out of the hole.
What?
She sucks on my dick as if to guide my cum that's trying to escape. Okay, these two are not in fact from sex scenes, and I will put them in the proper order.
Okay.
This is from a murder scene that later becomes a fight scene. The only thing here is the flayed spaghetti, with meat sauce, of course, of 3 dead bodies. The place is already overflowing with spaghetti, and now I have to make more meat sauce on top of that.
Amazing.
I feel like Nasu was very hungry while writing these.
It is possible. Spaghetti is good.
Drip, drip, it looks like keloid on her otherwise perfect skin. A dream where I ejaculated over and over as I killed. I feel like that's also a Shiki scene, because I think that's from before Shiki knows he has a secret serial killer in his brain. She looks too horny to be called lovely. I narrow my tongue and penetrate her flowery gait. Sakura licks my urethra and moves her tongue carefully over my head.
That's
What?
yeah. Go ahead.
The love juice starts to fill the air with an obscene smell. Even though my testicles are boiling hot, my strength and consciousness might give out before my release. What? You're so indecisive? Don't you want to have sex with her? Oh, are you impotent? I'm trying to. I think this comes from the dolphin scene, where they censored in the one version by cutting to cartoon dolphins, which is inferior to the Saber sex scene from the first anime, where it censors the sex scene by having Shiro imagine a giant CG dragon biting off his arm.
Mm.
It's a scene so great it has a craft essence in Fake Grand Order. I lean on Sakura from behind. She trembles as I trample through her frothing vagina with my cock. On top of that, coming inside her is my biggest failure to date. Rather than being hot, my crotch is more or less in a state of paralysis. That grotesquely erect thing is bloodshot and fearsome, to the point of making me want to cover my own eyes. A painful moan as I hear the woman's gasps. The ooze whirling around my testicles builds up. Sadly, this thing doesn't contain, so I'm going to mention it, the line of, I believe it's something along the lines of, she can't breathe. Perhaps it's because my dick is down her throat. But that was, I believe, a quote from Fate Stay Night. Her passionate tunnel. Sakura's breasts are soft and white like marshmallows. All I can think of is she is warm and soft like mashed potato. You know who else has white and soft marshmallow titties?
Ew.
Mash. That's why they call her Marshmallow.
Oh, I don't disagree there.
The slippery and glistening creases of her navel spread wider, like the folds of a vagina drenched in love juice. This is why you want to keep him away from your belly button. He'll try and fuck it like a vagina. I wonder if spurting that muddy white fluid into Sakura's mouth and on Ryder's face will feel good. Accumulating all this inside my body, even for only a short while, feels far too agonizing. The viscous love juices, smeared in onto me by her fingers, have become sticky with her hand job. My seething hot meat rod dances in her vagina. My manhood pierces her stomach and reaches her throat as if forcing a confession.
How do you even do that?
In reality, a warm and wet membrane had just engulfed my engorged glands. The pierced meat of a mature peach. The tip of my meat rod presses against the ceiling. I apply myself into the crack of her ass and thrust into the woman's genitals. I licked and sucked on her indecent core relentlessly. And finally, really? But Saber, if you do it like this, Shiro will be in pain as well. We have to get it so wet that even your butt is wet.
Oh, God. So that was the last one.
A truly erotic adventure.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of those caught me off guard, and were genuinely funny.
All of this should have caught you off guard. None of this is what you should have imagined in a sex scene.
Well, it isn't what I imagine. It's just that a lot of them, I just kind of got used to like them because they have a lot of similar statements.
You mean about grotesque meat rods?
Yes. Still, it was fun. It was fun to make, and I hope you, I hope all of you listening had fun listening too. Oh,
Let
God.
Kanoki Nasu make porn again. I know he doesn't want to, but make him. Make him.
Well, that was fun, everybody. I hope you all had a fun time. And I'm gonna go take a shower now.
You know why Assassin is the most dangerous servant class?
Why?
Because to the assassin, all anuses are defenseless.
You should start writing for fans.
I have made several fan servants. Some of them I'm actually pretty proud of. One day, maybe, I will get you to draw them, and then I will put them on. Perhaps I should make a Twitter. My comedy style is, I think, very, very well built for Twitter.
Right.
I can become a popular tweets man. I'll just like make tweets out of nowhere that is like, everything new and popular sucks except the stuff I like. Or like, I stubbed my toe on the stair because the stair is queerphobic and has a problem with me.
Yeah.
All of these are things I have said. Crap, there was another good one. Oh yeah, Starscream's a twink. Don't argue with me. It's true.
I'm not arguing. Oh, God. Anyways, do you want to end this, Age?
Starscream's anus is defenseless. That's why he'll never become the leader of the Decepticons.
I concur. God.
Megatron's grotesque rod plunged into the mature peach of Starscream's defenseless anus.
That's. We should try that. Just Transformers fanfiction.
The motor oil sloshed around in his butthole.
Oh God. Good night.
Stop recording.